Hello, my name is Eunice and today I'll be continuing on my topic, forgiveness. In my last video, I talked about what forgiveness is and who forgiveness is for, which I said that forgiveness is for ourselves, not the offender. So today I want to talk about some concept that is confused with forgiveness. There was a case I did. I was a counsel to the complainants. What happened? There is a young lady in her early 20s, was dating a married man. But it got to a point that this young lady was now sending a nude picture of a teenager in the house where she was living without the consent of the teenage girl. So when the parents of the teenage girl got to know, they were so angry and they got this young lady and the man friend arrested. Oh, they were begging. Oh, it was nothing. Why were you sending the pictures? Was it for money? What was it for? Not for money, just for pleasure. And they pleaded and pleaded for forgiveness. But the complainant insisted on prosecuting these people. The wife of this married man got to know what happened, that the husband is in police station for something dirty, like this, cheating husband, then immoral behavior. But this woman, she was pleading with the complainant to forgive her husband. And wow. So the woman is not even getting angry. Maybe when she gets home, she would lash out. But at that moment, that there's a problem, let's solve it. She was begging. The young lady, like, what is the big deal? She was not really perturbed. She didn't know the gravity of what she's done. So the complainant said she has forgiven them. He has forgiven them, but he gave a condition for him not to prosecute. He asked that they submit themselves, the two of them submit themselves to psychiatric evaluation. He asked the man, because he's wealthy, to give a free donation to charity. And it's on that condition that he will not prosecute the matter. The wife and the wife of the offender, they fulfilled the conditions and the case was withdrawn against them. But the young lady said no, he was not going to submit to any psychiatric evaluation. But along the line, the complainant felt that the purpose of this was not fulfilled. This man does not seem to have actually submitted to psychiatric evaluation because he feels that it is not normal, it is not okay. Why would people be sending and be finding pleasure in just looking at nude pictures and all of that? That is not normal. So we insisted that if the lady is going to do that, we want to see the session she had with the psychiatrist before we would withdraw the claim. So she refused that, well, the thing will go away. You know how justice system is in Nigeria, especially criminal justice system, where it's the police that prosecute. That was the time I was even at the prosecution office, and all of them were making jest of my client. That, oh, what does he want? They've begged. This woman have been begging. You should just withdraw the matter. I said, no. You should just forgive now. Is it not supposed to forgive and all of that? But along the line, when the lady saw that this matter was not going to go away, we're ready to prosecute, to pursue the case, she submitted to psychiatric evaluation. It was discovered that she had antisocial misbehavioral disorderliness. I've never heard of such until that moment. There were issues that she had gone through as a child. It was a childhood trauma or experiences that made her to behave this way. And she was able to get through a therapy session. She was grateful. Even the parents were so grateful for the insistence of the complainant for this lady to subject herself to psychiatric evaluation. Forgiveness and justice. The fact that we forgive someone does not mean that if they are legally culpable, they should not be punished for their offenses. But what is driving the desire for punishment? How do you react when you remember what this offender has done to you? Is where the forgiveness comes from. Are you asking for the prosecution to punish or to take revenge? In this circumstance, I believe the complainer had a good intention. He had forgiven. And even the condition he had given was to help the culprit because he believed that there's something wrong mentally. This is not a normal behavior. After the lady had gone through all of this psychiatric therapy and all of that, we told the court that we are no longer interested in prosecuting the case again. The complainant wants to withdraw, but the magistrate said no, because a child was involved. It was a serious something that no. I went to the Ministry of Justice for legal opinion that, okay, this was what happened. This lady she's remorseful. She has done all the complainant wanted her to do. And they said they will look into it. But while I was there was another case of a man that defiled a young lady. And the parents were saying that we are settled at home. The DPP was saying that is for your home. But here, anything that's involved defiling a child or no matter the forgiveness, that is for the victim. The state is going to prosecute. So forgiveness does not take away the legal liability or culpability of the offender. Forgiveness does not mean that what the offender has done is now is legally right or overtaken. So people should not confuse the fact that, okay, you have said you are forgiven. Why are you not withdrawing the case? How do we protect other people? How do we ensure that the defender does not do it to other people again? For small offenses, many jurisdictions adopt what they call victim offender mediation, or what they call restorative justice, whereby the accused or the defender plead guilty to what he has been accused of. And then they are made to see the victim, to know the impact of what they've done to the victim, and for the victim to get healing. The victim will forgive that, okay, this is what I felt. Do you know the impact of your action on me? People are able to let out how they feel. This is a great innovation by state. I know Lagos State is doing this and many other states in Nigeria and some other country as well. Restorative justice, correcting the offender so that they don't repeat such act again, so that they realize the magnitude or the effect of their action on their victim. Another concept that we may confuse with forgiveness is forgetting. We said many times, oh, forgive and forget. Is it possible to have a scar and forget to have a scar on your skin? No, it is not possible. When you don't have dementia or amnesia, they call it. Forgiveness does not mean that you will not remember what has been done to you. What forgiveness does is for the victim to realize that, oh, everyone is capable of making mistake. When you remember what has been done, what do you feel? Do you still feel the pain? Do you still feel the need to revenge? That is what forgiveness is all about. That when I remember, I do not feel like I want something bad to happen to the offender. I forgive it, and I'm not hurting again by remembering what has happened. Another concept that is confused with forgiveness is reconciliation. Or people feel that when you're saying that I'm forgiving, there should be reconciliation. Forgiveness involves only one party. You can forgive someone without the offender involvement. But to have reconciliation, both parties must be willing to come together. Both parties must be willing, at least, to reconcile. Take, for instance, I mentioned in my last video that what do you do when someone did not even reflect or did not even realize that he has done something wrong? How do you reconcile with such a person? So forgiveness and reconciliation is not the same thing. Yes, forgiveness oftentimes leads to reconciliation, but not all the time. Sometimes you may want to protect yourself from getting hurt again, especially when someone has continued doing something over and over and over and over again. To protect your own self, may have to create boundaries so that such a thing does not happen again. How do I practice forgiveness? What can I do so that I don't get angry easily or all the time? According to a researcher, Fred Ruskin, for you to practice forgiveness or not getting so easily, angered, you need to have a heart that knows that no one will purposely want to harm you. And those actions were carried out without it knowing that it can harm another person. Then another thing you can do is think of your loved one. When somebody annoys you, take a deep breath and think about your loved ones. Think about a scenario that makes you happy, of admiration or awe. Just put your mind off. A deep breath. Think about beautiful things. Do it over and over again. And then you calm your nerve. You don't get angry. Remember, when you get angry easily, you are most likely to have heart attack or have heart disease, or your blood pressure may shoot up. So it's for your own self. Practice breathing in, out, thinking about your loved ones. Close your eyes, think about your loved ones, and make excuse for people. No one would ordinarily, in their right senses, intend to hurt you. Like the story of the lady I told you about. She has an antisocial behavioral disorder. She didn't know. And that was what made her to be able to act in the way she did that hurt others. Another thing that has helped me over the period is having low or no expectation from anyone. So that you have a space in your heart. When somebody does something, because you don't have any expectation, you don't get hurt. When they do beyond what is normal, it's good. If they don't do it, you don't get angry. Then practice advanced forgiveness. That even before you offended me, I've forgiven you. You are fallible. We can make mistake. And by this practice, we have a world of peace. Forgiveness is not an abstract concept. It's actually something we have the ability to do. Forgiving with generosity and reflecting on the past to create future of reconciliation for necessary peace. Peace is achieved when there is a sincere apology, remorse, and true forgiveness in each person's heart. In some cases, it's even difficult to forgive, especially when the offender is not even admitting or reflecting that they've done anything. But remember, forgiveness is not for others. It's for our own self, for the future generation, to have a peaceful world. We cannot achieve peace with anger and hatred and resentment for people who have offended us. Forgive to break yourself free from pains and early deaths. I hope you've learned something today. And thank you again for coming to my channel. If this is your first time, please subscribe to my channel, share the video, and like this video. I would like to hear your thoughts about all I've said. Is there any other thing that you think we confuse with forgiveness? Do you agree with my point of view that forgiveness does not absolve the criminal of their offenses? Let me hear your thoughts on the comment section. And thank you. See you another time. Bye.